The year 1798 was an anxious one for the Kingdom of Naples. The army of Republican France had marched south through Italy and had entered Rome. Everyone feared that we too would soon be at the mercy of Bonaparte's troops. Our very lives depended on Lord Nelson and the British fleet. If he could defeat the French, then Naples would be saved. On September the 3rd, urgent dispatches from Lord Nelson himself were delivered to me, Sir William Hamilton, British ambassador to the court of Naples. I went immediately to the royal palace, eager to convey the momentous news to King Ferdinando and his family.
Questa? No, l'altra. Ma non è bianca.
Ecco tua sorella.
Vostro Meister, una notizia meravigliosa. Emma, my love, wonderful news. A great victory. The French fleet at Abu-Qirpeh has been utterly destroyed.
Dio benedica!
And Nelson? What about Nelson?
Injured but safe and on his way here. God be praised for a glorious victory.
To say that my wife and I were friends of Lord Nelson would be something of an exaggeration. We'd met him once, about 5 years before, when he was just a captain. I remember remarking that he was a little man who could scarcely boast of being very handsome, but I felt sure that he would one day astonish the world. His great victory at Abu-Qirpeh, the Battle of the Nile, proved how right I was.
Sei proprio una puritana, Maria. Ai, finito, eh? Ho finito, e siete bella. Certo. Well, do you like it?
Oh, yes, very much. Good Lord, it's all covered with little anchors.
This dress is my tribute to the greatest seaman the world has ever known. I shall go to meet him a la Nelson, from head to foot.
So I see. Well, it's certainly very distinctive.
That means you hate it.
Not at all.
Su via, Sir William. Ditemi la verità.
It's very charming.
You hate it.
No, I don't. I promise I don't. It's just...
What?
Oh, è un po' eccessivo.
Eccessivo.
Bello.
Extravagant. We scarcely know the man after all. Don't you think he might be embarrassed by all this finery?
No, sciocchezze, non è possibile, Sir William. If a man's a hero, he deserves to be treated like one.
And so indeed he was. Every man, woman and child in Naples thronged the streets and harbour to catch a glimpse of Nelson when his flagship anchored on September the 22nd. Lady Hamilton and I went aboard to escort the Admiral to our house, the Palazzo Sessa, where a suite of rooms had been prepared for him. My dear Nelson, it is my honour and privilege to welcome you to Naples.
Thank you, Sir William. Lady Hamilton.
Understandably, my wife was unable to disguise her feelings of distress. 5 years of battle had certainly left their marks on him. The right arm amputated, his forehead cruelly scarred, and his face grey and haggard with exhaustion. It was an extraordinary sensation to gaze down at a man who had changed the course of history. Just to be in his presence was strangely exhilarating. I felt 10 years younger. On September the 29th, we gave a supper and ball to celebrate both the victory of the Nile and Nelson's 40th birthday. It was a splendid affair and an appropriate climax to my diplomatic career at the court of Naples.
Speak to us, please. Excuse me. I want you to meet a very old friend of mine. Commodore of Her Majesty's Fleet, Francesco
Caracciolo. It's a great pleasure. Commodore.
I'm deeply honored, sir.
We had met before. You sailed with us in 95.
That's quite correct. I was in command of the Tancredi.
Yes, I remember. Genoa. Yes, I behaved rather badly, I'm afraid.
No, sir. With the spirit. You behaved with the true spirit of a fighting man. It was of Genoa. The French fleet was in hopeless disarray, but the British commander, Admiral Nelson, decided not to pursue them. You were very, very angry, sir.
Yes, I was. You're quite right. Oh, poor old Nelson. I gave him no end of trouble, I'm afraid.
Yes, I remember it well.
I was accused of insubordination, but what virtue is there in following the orders of a man so clearly mistaken?
None, sir.
None whatsoever.
Mind you, there was sound common sense behind Putnam's caution. You might have got yourself in the most confounded scrape.
Caution has no place in battle, Sir William, as I wrote to my wife at the time. A life with disgrace is dreadful. Glorious death is to be envied.
See, our conquering hero comes. Sound the trumpet, strike the drums. Sports prepare, the laurel bring. Songs of triumph to him sing. See, our gallant Nelson comes. Sound the trumpet, strike the drums. Sports prepare, the laurel bring. Songs of triumph, Emma sings. Myrtle wreaths and roses twine round the hero's brow. Divine!
Bravo.
Lasciaci soli. What are you looking at?
Little bird, up in the tree.
Where?
Just there. See? It's gone. Day before the Nile, a little bird flew into my cabin. I opened the window wide, but she stayed with me, right throughout the battle, and all the way here. When we anchored in the bay, she flew away. I was just wondering, it was the same bird, wondering what had become of her.
Perhaps she wanted to come here. Perhaps this is where she belongs.
Perhaps she's lost.
No. She's come home.
Lady Hamilton in the First Bloom of Her Beauty, by Sir Joshua Reynolds. Here's another. This one by Romney. The Adoration of the Shepherds. Caravaggio. The landscape is by Zuccarelli. The Pieta by Tintoretto.
Oh, you have a very fine collection, Sir William.
Yes, I'm very proud of it. The acquisition of beautiful things has been my life's passion. What's more, I have a sharp eye, an excellent taste. A formidable combination. Now, this might interest you. When one tires of mere paintings, the senses can be delighted by the acquisition of a more tangible beauty. The lady poses inside, you see. The dark background shows the figure to perfection. Don't tell me you're shocked.
No, I'm not shocked. I'm just surprised, that's all.
I've always been very susceptible to feminine charms. My wife delights in displaying them. No doubt you've heard many fanciful stories about Emma and me. The truth is really quite simple. She was the mistress of my nephew, Charles Greffel. When I first saw her, she was 18. I was 53. A couple of years later, Greffel wanted to get rid of her. He had his eye on a young heiress, and Emma was somewhat de trop. He sent her here, to me. May sound a bit cold-blooded. Perhaps it was. But I didn't care. In fact, I was enchanted, overjoyed. These last 7 years have been amazingly happy. For her, too, I think. Now, this is the very center of my collection. Take a look at it. The ancient Greeks and Romans had a rare passion for life, and this passion is to be found in everything they made. Whenever I touch one of these pieces, I get the most enormous sense of vigor. Of course, they lived on a grander scale in those days, with their gods and goddesses, their Olympian heroes. Though we too have our heroes, do we not?
Does that mean that I'm to be part of your collection too, Sir William?
Indeed you are, my dear fellow. The prize exhibit. It was then that things started to go wrong. Inspired by Nelson's victory at the Nile, King Ferdinando ordered his troops to march north and drive the French out of Rome. Avanti.
Eccellenza, cattive notizie. Non potrebbero essere peggiori. Le nostre truppe sono state sconfitte.
My God. It was a foolish and ill-advised expedition, and within a matter of days the king's army was in full retreat, with the French troops following hard at their heels. Ferdinando, a weak and cowardly man, was born to be ruled by others. His queen, on the other hand, had all the strength that he so notably lacked. What's more, she hated France with a passionate fervour, which is hardly surprising since her beloved sister, Marie Antoinette, was executed during the French Revolution. It was the Queen who decided that the royal family should flee to their second capital, Palermo, in Sicily. Fearing the worst, I had my treasures shipped back to England.
No, no, non quello, prendi questo. Sì, e fai attenzione, che non si prezza.
My lord, I've been told about Their Majesty's plan to leave for Sicily. It is agreed that I shall accompany them.
Good, sensible.
But I must insist that they travel with me in one of their own ships. It is politically wrong if they should go with you.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, isn't it? It seems Their Majesties would feel safer under the protection of the British flag. And that being the case...
I think it's wrong. I must insist.
Insist as much as you like. When I give an order, I expect it to be obeyed.
The voyage to Palermo was a hellish experience. A storm raged ceaselessly, and the Queen's youngest child died of convulsions on Christmas Day. I remained in my cabin with pistols at the ready, determined to shoot myself rather than to die with a guggle, guggle, guggle of salt water in my throat. It was bitterly cold when we arrived in Palermo. The Queen wept for her dead child, Emma wept for us all, and I was laid low with a wretched bilious attack.
Nelson has a fever. I can nurse him more easily here.
Is there anything I can do?
No, he'll be all right. I'll stay with him while he sleeps.
I've always remembered the words I heard from Nelson's own lips when he first arrived in Naples. Somebody said to him that no doubt he considered the day of his victory at the Nile as the happiest day of his life. Not so, replied his lordship. The happiest day of my life was when I married Lady Nelson. Now those are the words of a man of honor, and such a man must always command our respect and trust. Early in the new year, the French seized Naples and declared it a republic. Thus, we were isolated in Palermo. A distressing state of affairs for everyone, except the king, who seemed to be enjoying his self-imposed exile. Hours and days slipped idly by, while His Majesty regaled us with his improbable fantasies. How, for example, he yearned to be a simple fisherman, harpooning his catch by day, and performing a not dissimilar function in the brothels by night.
E passare le ore della notte a arpionare I puttana. Noi siamo maestri dell'arpione, Sir William. Lo sapevate, eh?
Maestro siete un uomo dai 1000 talenti.
The king's great passion was for hunting, and we were all expected to share this enthusiasm. Like so many weaklings, he was never happier than when spilling the blood of helpless animals.
Signori, comincia la caccia, andiamo, andiamo. Ammazzi loro cinghiali!
Only Nelson, who constantly complained of feeling unwell, was given the royal consent to remain indoors. king was not a man of physical courage, quite the contrary, and he preferred that all elements of risk should be excised from his hunting expeditions.
E qui mi hanno detto che in Sicilia i cinghiali sono veramente grossi. Bene, bene. Hanno fatto un buon lavoro, E quando scappa il cinghiale? Voi andate a trovare lo cinghiale, presto, presto! E noi ce ne andiamo a mangiare, Andiamo, andiamo.
The object of these daily sorties was the pursuit of the cingale, the wild boar, a beast for which His Majesty claimed to have an unbounded admiration. He never tired of extolling the virtues of boar hunting, comparing it contemptuously with the British pursuit of the fox, a sport which he dismissed as being fit only for the effeminate.
Gentiluomini inglesi un poco effeminati. È per questo che noi invece italiani amiamo il sapore del pericolo e andiamo alla caccia del cinghiale, un animale la cui ferocia si addice alla nostra bravura napolitana. Signori, un brindisi al nostro degno avversario. O cinghiale! Cinghiale! Ma che questo? Bello, bello! Are you hungry, Sir William? Ma cinghiali grossi, non ce ne stanno più. Faccia morti.
Well, Sir William, have you enjoyed a good day's hunting? Oh, yes, indeed I have. Speak the truth, my friend. I know the king rewards you as much as he does me. Perhaps even more so. Be careful. Why should I be careful? No man has been more loyal than I. The king knows that. Everybody knows that. But just look at him. The only man he loves is himself. He wouldn't care if the whole of Naples was burned to the ground. He cares for nothing and nobody. He's worse than a beast. And yet,
The king. The people treat him like a god. And how does he repay them? With contempt. Worse. He just ignores them.
I think you've said enough.
Why should honest men be ruled by such a king? The days of blind obedience are over. I'm glad to see them go. Something is happening in Europe now, my dear friend, and nothing, not even all the Ferdinandos in the world can stop it.
Friends of ours came to Sicily about 8 or 9 years ago.
Oh, did they like it here?
Well, not exactly. First of all, and the place where they were staying was quite literally flooded. Then, when they decided to go up into the mountains, they were suddenly set upon by brigands. Mightily glad to return home to Sussex.
Let me ask you a question, sir. No doubt you've heard of the Battle of the Nile.
Well, of course.
Can you give me 3 reasons why this battle is unique?
3 reasons. Well, yes, of course, no.
Well, don't waste time guessing, I'll tell you. 1, it was fought in the dark. 2, it was fought at anchor. And 3, the victory was gained by an admiral with only 1 arm.
Very good, sir, very good.
Just think. In 1,000 years from now, people will talk of us sitting here this evening. They'll talk of how the glorious Nelson spent the winter at Palermo, and how English ladies and gentlemen travelled hundreds of miles just to be with him. As we talk of Julius Caesar or Alexander the Great, so they will talk of the glorious Nelson.
Yeah, yeah.
We shall be immortal. Because of you, my lord, we shall never die.
A few weeks later, we were told that the Republicans were planning to seize the property of all absentee landlords. Commodore Caracciolo left for Naples immediately, hoping to prevent his estates from falling into rebel hands. I was sorry to see him go.
Have you spoken to the king?
Yes, I saw him this morning.
Did he try to stop your leaving?
Not exactly, no. I was honored with a few words of paternal advice. Beware of meddling with French politics, he said. Avoid the snares of the Republicans. I know I shall soon recover the kingdom of Naples. I was tempted to ask him, how long is soon?
Well, with Lord Nelson's help, it might only be a matter of weeks.
Sir William, you are a good man, and you expect good of others. That is often a mistake. Lord Nelson may be a hero, yes, but that doesn't mean he's always to be trusted.
Why? Don't you trust him?
Not entirely, no.
That's because you don't know him.
I doubt very much whether anyone really knows him.
Oh, come now.
Sir William, it's true what I say. One day he pretends to applaud anyone with a free and independent spirit. The next, he behaves like the most rigid disciplinarian. That's why he's such a great hero, of course. The people love him because they can recognize his weaknesses as their own. The powerful tolerate him because they need his undoubted, undoubted naval genius to protect their interests. It's a skillful mask he's made for himself. I wonder what sort of face actually lies beneath.
Oh, I think that's being a little unfair. After all, a man in his position needs to be adaptable.
Perhaps. Remember what I said, dear friend. In these days, it's foolhardy to trust anyone.
Che Dio ti illumini. E accompagni anche te. Grazie.
Within a matter of hours, we learned that he had joined forces with the rebels. The king received the news as a personal insult.
Come mai? Non vi siete accorti di tutto quello che stava preparando? Perché non l'avete prevenuto? Siete degli incompetenti! Incompetenti! Tutti quanti! È possibile che io non riesca mai a trovare nessuno di cui mi possa fidare?
When the French Republicans murdered my sister, I swore that one day I would have my revenge. Sweet, gentle Marie Antoinette. Oh, God. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can see the blade of the guillotine falling on her slender neck. They must all be killed. The rebel vermin, every one of them. Men and women, it doesn't matter who they are. They must all be killed. Will Nelson do this for us? Will he sail to Naples and strike them all dead? Can you make him do this?
I can try.
He'll do anything you ask him. You know he will. Tell him to treat Naples like a rebel town in Ireland. Tell him to make an example of the scum. Tell him to kill them all.
In the early summer, a cardinal by the name of Fabrizio Ruffo gathered together a considerable force of royalist sympathizers, many of whom were nothing more than ferocious brigands and cutthroats. Determined to drive the Republicans out of Naples, they had marched through southern Italy, leaving behind them an appalling trail of brutality and death. In June, they recaptured Naples in the king's name, and although Cardinal Ruffo urged them to be merciful, they subjected the city to 24 hours of ruthless terror. Republican sympathizers were hacked to pieces and roasted in the streets. Women were tortured and raped. It was a nightmare of godless vengeance.
Noi non possiamo trattare con I ribelli.
His Majesty...
Nessun trattato di nessun genere.
His Majesty says there must be no treaty with the rebels.
Has Cardinal Ruffo been told that?
Yes, but we don't trust him. Chiede de Ruffo.
Dica che non ci possiamo fidare di lui. Vuole la gloria della conquista di Napoli tutta per sé.
His Majesty says that Cardinal Ruffo wants the glory of conquering Naples for himself.
Yes, I see.
Allora, Nelson acconsente ad andare a Napoli?
His Majesty wants to know if you're prepared to go to Naples yourself.
Yes, if necessary.
It is most necessary, my lord. It is of the utmost importance.
You and His Majesty will sail with me?
No. I think it would be more prudent for us to remain here. Sir William and Lady Hamilton have consented to go as our deputies.
Massey?
Gli dica che non ci fidiamo di Ruffo.
Gliel'ho già detto.
Ah.
Very well, I'll tell Hardy to have the foudroyant made ready.
Acconsente?
Sì, partirà subito.
Le saremo eternamente grati, eccellenza. Eternamente grati. Ah.
Whatever happens,
Bravo.
you must find the traitor Caracciolo.
Un eroe.
There's no need for a trial. His guilt is plain and proved.
Good.
Treat him with the greatest firmness, force, and vigor.
Bravo.
By the time we anchored at Naples, peace had been fully restored, and we learned that Cardinal Ruffo had actually signed a truce with the rebels. Nelson flew into a terrible rage and demanded to see him at once.
It's quite clear to me that you have exceeded your powers in almost every respect, and have acted quite without the King's authority.
I feel obliged to point out, my lord, that the King is in Palermo. He can have no direct knowledge of the state of affairs here in Naples.
No, that's just an excuse.
An excuse?
What else would you call it?
I would call it a reason, not an excuse. I have no cause to seek excuses for my behavior.
Pardon me, sir, but I think you have. This truce of yours allows the rebel troops to just stroll away as if nothing has happened. Are there to be no punishments, not even a word of reprimand?
Would you not consider their defeat as punishment enough?
No, sir, I would not. Good God, this is more than a truce. This is a charter of general forgiveness. I'm surprised you haven't thanked them for taking up arms against the King. Frankly, sir, I'm shocked by this document. One might be forgiven for supposing that you sympathize with the Republicans yourself.
My lord, I think we should remember that His Eminence marched many miles to recapture Naples. His loyalty and courage are surely beyond question.
Thank you, Sir William.
Yes. Yes, I will accept that. Yes, but I cannot accept this treaty, nor any part of it.
When His Majesty returns, you will sail away. We will have to live here.
And what is that supposed to mean?
We have to live together, my lord. How can we do that if our hearts are full of hatred and revenge? I want to heal the wounds, not to deepen them.
Rebels cannot be allowed to roam the streets unpunished.
What one man calls a rebel, another calls a patriot.
And how can a man who fights against his king ever be called a patriot?
But the king was not here. The king had run away.
He was the king nevertheless.
Their Majesties went to Palermo. Their subjects are loyal there.
This is an argument which nobody can win.
As far as I am concerned, sir, there's nothing to argue about. This so-called armistice is not worth the paper it is written on. You must return to the rebels and inform them that you have acted without the king's authority, and that they must now submit to the royal mercy.
The king will not show them any mercy, and you know that.
What the king will do or will not do, sir, is no concern of mine. More of yours come to that.
But I have given my word.
That is your error. Now you must correct it.
My lord, I cannot do
I
this.
think you have no choice.
I cannot, and I will not. It's a matter of honor.
Honor? What honor is there in allowing rebels their freedom?
Let me tell you,
I think we've said enough.
No, my lord, I must insist. There has been too much bloodshed, too much cruelty. What I have seen in these past weeks has shocked me beyond all words. To me, it is a matter of honor that the people of this unfortunate city should now live in peace.
Well, your idea of honor, sir, and mine are quite different. To me, it is a matter of honor that each and every one of these traitors shall be brought to justice. And I swear to you, I shall not rest until this is done.
Prigionieri repubblicani! Mettiamoli a bordo! I prigionieri! Imbecilli, madonna! Ma volete sbragare? Che sei un canaglia, dai! Mira me!
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, sir. Dai! Hey, Gabs, what is the freaking insult? Hey, Gabs! Gabs to there!
Is that Commodore Caracciolo?
Gabs to there! Hey, Gabs to there!
That man's an officer. Remove his chains and take him below.
At 9 o'clock, a court-martial was held aboard Nelson's flagship, and Cavaliere Francesco Caracciolo was found guilty of rebellion against his lawful sovereign. He was sentenced to be hanged on the foreyard arm of the frigate Minerva at 5 o'clock the same afternoon. Oh, my dear fellow, I'm most dreadfully sorry to see you in this condition. Captain Hardy is most upset. He tells me you've been beaten. They'd no right to do that. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yes. Please speak to Lord Nelson. I need to see a priest. I need more time to prepare myself for death.
How long?
24 hours.
Very well.
And since I'm an officer, I would like to be shot. Hanging is a shameful death.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Sir William.
He wants a what?
A priest. A priest? Yes, he needs time to prepare himself for death. He needs a priest. And he wants to be shot, not hanged.
Perhaps he'd like a bottle of claret with his dinner as well. Out of the question.
Out of the question?
Out of the question. The decision of the court-martial was clear, surely. He's to hang this afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Yes, but under the circumstances.
What circumstances?
Can't we show a little humanity?
We? Can't we show a little humanity? I don't think that we are much concerned in this, Sir William. It is a matter of law. Quick rewards and quick punishments are the basis of good government. We cannot alter the punishment just because we feel sorry for the culprit.
But I'm not asking for mercy. Only a short delay.
This man ordered shots to be fired against ships of the King's Navy. He is a traitor. Why should we delay?
There's been too much haste, my friend.
Nonsense.
Is it right that a man should be brought aboard at 9, court-martialed at 10, hanged at 5, all in the same day?
I believe in prompt action. It's the mark of self-confidence and a clear mind.
Think again, I beg you. He needs a priest.
Sir William, I don't think you fully appreciate the seriousness of this man's crime. Naples is our most important base in the Mediterranean, and it is my duty to ensure that it does not fall into the hands of the enemy. Had Caracciolo's rebellion against King Ferdinand succeeded, Napoleon's ships would now be anchored in this bay, and many hundreds of men would have died, each and every one of them without the benefit of a priest. I see no reason to grant this traitor the privilege of dying with all his sins forgiven.
You haven't spoken for almost an hour. dear. We're all upset. But sulking won't help.
I was thinking, not sulking.
Nelson had no choice. You know that.
He had some choice. There was no reason to deny the man a priest.
Caracciolo was a traitor.
Even murderers are allowed to see a priest before they die.
You've no experience in these things. None. Nelson wouldn't tell you what paintings to buy, or how to manage your diplomatic affairs. So why should you tell him what to do?
I wasn't telling. I was asking. Begging.
And he said no. That's his privilege. It's not for us to say whether he was right or wrong.
That's not the point, Emma.
Well, what is then?
I misjudged him.
What?
I misjudged him. I've always regarded myself as an excellent judge of men, and I've seldom been proved wrong. I would have wagered 1,000 guineas that Nelson would have granted Caracciolo his dying wish. I was totally unprepared for such an unyielding denial. It shocked me.
Well, yes. I can understand that.
No, I don't think you can. It shocked me because it made me wonder whether I had misjudged him in other respects as well.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I am an old man, and the feebleness of age is the one malady for which there can be no cure. You, my dear, are still in the full beauty and vigor of your youth. Nelson is a great hero. Everyone admires him. And I know he has the warmest affection for you.
What are you trying to say, Sir William?
Isn't it abundantly clear?
What are you accusing me of?
Nothing. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just asking for my natural fears to be allayed.
Do you want me to tell you the truth?
No. I don't think I do. All I want is a quiet life and some repose. We shall never speak of this matter again. A few days later, to everyone's horror, Caracciolo's body rose up from the water, much disfigured and decomposed, with the white globes of his eyes staring from their sockets. It is a sight that has haunted my dreams ever since. Eventually we returned, the three of us, to England. People often referred to us, not unkindly, I think, as the tria juncta in uno, the three joined as one. Fearing that my end was near, I added a codicil to my last will and testament. I wrote, "The copy of Madame de Brun's picture of Emma, in enamel, I give to my dearest friend Lord Nelson, a very small token of the great regard I have for his lordship, the most virtuous, loyal, and truly brave character I ever met with. God bless him, and shame fall on those who do not say, Amen."
Did he say something?
Amen. I think he said amen.
Poor dear man. He's saying his prayers. He can't last much longer, I'm sure of it. Poor dear man.